We are often called the human race. But sometimes I wonder, why do humans race? Because we're always racing. We're racing to wake up our children in the morning. We're racing to rush them to school. We're racing to bring them back from school. We're racing after that to send them for tuition. We're racing after that to send them for some dance class. We're racing after that to send them to yoga, in between fit in the taekwondo. It's all, life is one big race. I think, talking from my own experience, and I have got two younger brothers, when we were growing up, we had our parents gave us a lot of free time. Time to do what you want. And it's like a flower. If a gardener is overwatering a flower, if the sun is beating down too much on a flower, if a person comes and touches a flower too often, then the flower gets spoiled very easily. So parents, I think the key here is to let the flower bloom. Sometimes, of course, nurture your children. Please take good care of them. Spend time with them, but don't ever overdo it. To me, life skills is a great concept, but at Derek O'Brien Associates, we've taken it to a different level now. It's no more life skills, because life skills has to go beyond and become success skills. The skills which you need to succeed in life. It's very easy to define the skills which you need to succeed in an exam, and that's very important, because if you look at that, if you get good marks, hurrah, excellent, you do very, very well in your exam. But for life skills, it's a very interesting concept, because what are these success skills? For example, one success skill today, it's absolutely crucial, is how you present, how you speak, how you conduct yourself. I've got a very simple suggestion. Some people tell me, how do you do this? Should we send our children to some class? Should we send our children to some seminar? Should we send our children to a workshop? I always tell them, no, you don't need to do that. The first place you need to send your children to with you is in front of the mirror at home. That's the best place to get a boy or a girl to express himself. Let him or her look into that mirror. Let him or her believe that that mirror is actually giving them the confidence. It's amplifying the confidence to actually see what they're doing. Make them laugh, make them cry, make them make funny faces. I have a little game which I play with my daughter when she was a little younger. Now she's 15. But the game was that I would give her a word and she'd have to make funny faces in front of the mirror. Like, for example, start crying. Look angry. Okay? Look sad. These are different ways to express themselves. So presentation just doesn't only mean, you go blabber, blabber, blabber like I'm doing. Because there again, there's a very thin line between having the gift of the gab. In other words, it's just doing chatter, 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 chatter. Or, and this is a crucial point about presentation, the content. What you say is more important than how you say it. So please, I know some of you think that if you take your child and say, child speaks very well, but we often look at the content. So as parents, my humble submission to you is start with the mirror test. Okay? For content, if you want to know what to say, start with the potty test. Now what's the potty test? The potty test is very simple. Get your son or daughter who's in class 3, 4 or 5 to get used to reading the newspaper. In other words, every morning don't allow them to do potty unless they take the newspaper and sit on the pot and read. Because two things happen. Great physiological and bowel movement. No, but on a more serious note, they get used to reading the newspaper. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about, because for me it's the easiest topic to talk about, because it's about accepting failure, because I am all about failure. And whether I go to IIM in Calcutta or IIM in Ahmedabad, whenever I go and address or to some senior corporate executives or teachers or school principals or students, the point I always discuss is failure. The key ingredient to success, I often ask people, what's the key ingredient to success? They tell me hard work, certainly, little luck, certainly, diligence, certainly, maybe, talent, of course, but the biggest ingredient to success is a 4-letter word, and that 4-letter word is FAIL. You have to fail. Celebrate failure. Don't think I've gone loony. My parents celebrated failure. You know, I'll tell you a little story which actually summarizes it. I was in Delhi and we came back to Calcutta, so I only had 7 months in class 8. I didn't get the full, 12 months. And at the end of those 7 months, my parents were handed a report card saying your son has failed, not getting promoted to class 9. I said, oh my gosh, what would happen? Parents would either take their child and throw them into the Ganges, or whip them, or punish them. Guess what my parents did? They took me out for a superb Chinese meal. So I think we need to celebrate failure, because the theory, and if you're a parent, this is my theory, you have to fail at least 2-3 times in life major. There are some people who do not fail till they are 48, 50 years of age. Let me give you a little example. Can you think of anyone who hasn't failed till he's 50, 52? The closest I know who has never failed till he's 50 or 52. He had his first big failure. Shashi Tharoor. Shashi Tharoor, always first in class, always first in college, cracked the UN, and his first failure came at age 52. And that's when he didn't get elected as the UN Secretary General. After that, we shall not go into those details. But basically, the point I'm trying to make is that to succeed, you have to fail. Please celebrate failure. When your children fail, enjoy it. मैं पागल नहीं हो गया. This is serious. So in this quest for the sharpest child, in this quest for the smarter daughter, in this quest for the whiz son, I think let's look at it from a very practical point of view. Let me take 3 little practical points. 1, children today are watching too much television and they're not reading. So your child may be sitting at home and not reading. Now, rather than be screaming and saying, why isn't he reading? I would suggest you follow a very simple, almost, it's like a prarthana every day. You know, it's like a slok every day. Before he or she goes to sleep, doesn't matter how old he or she is, sit with your son, sit with your daughter. For 15 minutes this has to be done. All mobile phones off, television off, and read. Drop everything and read. Drop everything and read. I call this my principle of DEAR. D-E-A-R. So that's the first theory. Drop everything and read. Number 2, a very simple way to do this is that go outdoors. Let me ask you 3 questions. Answer this. You're watching this now. Answer this on your own to find out how you fit in as a parent. I presume you have a boy or a girl who's below 13. Here are 3 questions. 1. Has your child ever climbed a guava tree? 2. Has your child walked barefoot on a beach when it's raining? 3. Has your child ever spent 3 minutes or 4 minutes with a bird or an animal? I think these are the things we need to do, because otherwise we will be getting all these wonderful children who will only be masters of the screens they use. The computer screen, the game screen, the television screen, the video screen. We have to take it beyond that to a beautiful world of sun, sand, and openness. And the third little practical suggestion, a humble submission which I may take to is, people want to be more creative. You know, my child is not creative. उसको creative बनाना है. तो creative बनाना, तो how will you make him creative? Take her to watch movies. Sometimes when you watch a movie, watch a Hindi film. I only watch Hindi films. I never watch a Hollywood film. Only once in 6 months. After that, you come back home. Tell them a story. Tell them 3 lines of the story. And then say, you come back to me day after tomorrow and complete the story. These are the ways. You know, you have to engage your children. You know, otherwise I see parents who are standing outside. I go when outside my daughter's school. The parents are standing in the corridor whispering 90s. I call them the whispering 90s mothers. 92, 95, 97. You know, I mean, life is much more beyond those 90s. Those 90s are very, very important. But at the end of it all, if you passionately push your child, not even push, if you passionately inspire your child to do the things he wants to do. You know, we're shooting this program in Delhi, and I'll end with a story. Because for me, this is one of the most fascinating stories of a person I met day before yesterday. A surgeon, doctor, after doing MBBS, was a surgeon for 9 years. Do you know what that person does now? She is the best hairstylist in Delhi. So I was talking to her, I said, what happened? She said, nothing. I was a surgeon for 9 years and now I gave up the scalpel and now I'm cutting people's hair. So that's about living your passion. Encourage your children to live their passion. They'll love you for it.